closets are, well, for the lack of a better term, boring. They're there to fulfill a purpose, which is to make sure that your stuff and clothes are put in a safe place, as well as placing valuables that you don't want anyone to get a hold of. I mean, look at this Squishmallow. Absolutely priceless. I bet it's millions of dollars. But rare and pricey stuffed animals aside, closets aren't really interesting to look at. However, they're necessary, and without proper organization, they get messy. And they get messy really, really fast, which is what happened to my closet. After about a year in this house, it got to a point where the closet was just not functioning the way I wanted it. So I decided it was time to really focus on making this closet more efficient and a lot cleaner. What will be different about this makeover this time is that I'm not actually giving the closet a makeover. As in, I'm not giving the closet full coverage makeup with heavy concealer. Rather, I'm just focusing on the skincare of this space. That's a pretty dumb metaphor, but what I mean by that is, this isn't a large overhaul like I did with the game room or my husband's studio. This is just a reorganizing of a space, which is completely fine. I don't need to have a California closet, just a place I can actually walk in. So, why now? Well, the reason is very simple. I'm sick of actually looking at how messy it is and how it's become. There was always dirty clothes on the floor since the hamper I got a long time ago, well, to put it mildly, it died. My purses were kind of scattered everywhere, one on a shelf here, another on a rack over here, and sometimes not even on a shelf or on a rack at all. And also I had all these important documents and personal items piled up on these shoe shelves on this side of the closet, which isn't good. What if some nosy nobody comes in my closet snooping through all my personal items? Gross. That'd be terrible. So really this place was a state, and a terrible one at that, which I blame entirely on myself. And with that, I began where all my projects start, which is a planning phase. One place in particular I looked at for ideas mostly was the Container Store. If you haven't been, and there's one near you, I would totally check it out, mostly for ideas and inspiration. But be aware that you can honestly way overspend at that place pretty often, so I'd only buy things I really needed there that were only available there, which I only bought one thing there, but more on that later. I focused on my go-to cheaper options like Target and IKEA, and while looking into these places, I started to realize the real problem with my closet organization. The number one problem was the lack of organizing when it came to my smaller pieces of clothing and accessories. I literally had a switch box holding my jewelry. Don't recommend that, by the way. Your diamond studs will definitely fall out. Mario may be great at collecting coins, but he can't keep my jewelry safe. And my socks and other clothing like that were scattered all over the floor instead of the boxes I bought for them because, well, I'm lazy. I needed a closet solution for all of this, and it came from the most interesting thing I could think of, and that was this dresser. This is the Hauga, and the one I eventually bought has these two cabinet doors on the side as well as the drawers in the middle of it. The reason this became a huge answer to the largest question of organization was because I honestly really wanted more shelving space and drawers in the closet without, like busting down walls and creating cabinets in the closet, because that would be needlessly expensive. When I looked at this Hauga, I really felt like it fulfilled most of what I wanted without breaking the bank, and it looked nice enough to place in my closet. I also wanted to make the Hauga a more efficient drawer unit by not only just slapping my clothes in the drawers chaotically, just throwing my stuff in there would just be making my problem worse. To really offset this problem, I got these organizational cubes from IKEA. These are pretty cheap and they're also easy to store away if you do have extras. All you have to do is fold the cube up and place it in a safe place so you can probably use it later. But for those I did use, I organized my undergarments, socks, and other clothing accessories, and it really did start to look a whole lot better in my closet with just that simple change. Now everything is in a neat and tidy location that I can easily access without just being thrown carelessly into a bin that has little to no organization. For the cabinets on the left, I placed all my purses and travel bags that I used to have on the closet shelves above the clothing racks. This way, they're in a protected area, and I have less clutter clouding the shelving space that I already have. And whenever I need a specific purse or bag, it's easy to grab and use. On the opposite cabinet, I house all my important documents. I would show you this in detail, but I like my privacy and don't like the idea of accidentally doxing myself. So yeah, some other things that I included in my closet that have aided me in making a very comfortable space is the inclusion of a hamper system. Before this, I had used like a very standard laundry basket that you can basically get anywhere. And this thing is actually the worst. Reason being is it doesn't sort out the clothes that land in it, and it just looks terrible. So I decided to fix that by adding this, the Joseph and Joseph hamper, which I got on Amazon. It's super easy to use with these like kind of bags that you can just pull out and take with you to the laundry room. I will say the assembly is not easy, however, especially the fabric portions of the hamper. Since it's not a stretchy fabric, you have to strong arm the heck out of it until it finally is in these like tiny little slits. But after it's assembled, it's not an issue you should have to revisit because, well, it's pretty sturdy. I also added some baskets from Target in the closet that are currently empty, but add some interesting storage if I ever buy new things, as well as these wooden hangers I also got from Target. I got these mainly as something that's more aesthetically pleasing rather than the plastic hangers I had from my old place. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the velvet hangers that you see in most stores because it's nearly impossible to hang anything on it smoothly. The wooden ones are easier to use and have nice ridges, so silkier tops, tanks, or anything that slips off easily don't come off, well, as easily. I bought both natural wood and matte black wooden hangers to separate my clothes from my husband's, but this is purely out of personal design choice. You can definitely just get the ones that please you the most. Also, I included this amazing jewelry stacker that I got from the Container Store. You can stack them up like this to make a huge jewelry box, or if you are like me, you can actually place them in a drawer like this one. This was my only purchase from the Container Store, and I have to admit I was mostly drawn to the color of them, rather than it being a budget purchase. However, there's cheaper options at Target and Amazon, so I'd go there first before buying these. Oh, and before I forget, this drawer also has a battery-operated LED light from IKEA. So every time I open the drawer to pick out a necklace, I can easily see which one I want. And after a long cleaning out period and a reorganization, my closet finally felt completely organized, all thanks to adding a dresser system, some new storage items, and a handy dandy hamper. Honestly, I kind of overplanned when I started this project. I thought I needed a million boxes and baskets and things to place my items in, or a complete overhaul of the closet in general. But really, with a real simple solution, I was able to make this space easier to navigate and make it just as beautiful as I imagined. It's not a designer closet, but it's clean, and that's more than I'd ever want for this room. And I was glad that I was able to throw my disorganization out the door. So what did you all think? Do you think my solution could work for you? Or does your closet need something else in order for it to be organized? Is there something you wish you could change about your closet? And if so, what? Leave your answers in the comment section below, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.